Okay, I'm going to bring in a canvas, give this backdrop a canvas texture to it. I like the image the way it is. It's really nice. Just kind of getting creative with the backdrop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab some of these textured backdrops that I have, and I'm going to bring it in here. I'm just going to drag it over on top of my image. I'm going to come over to the right of it, and you can see my dual arrows there telling me that I can rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it around vertical as best I can. I could also right click and choose to rotate clockwise if I wanted to. So that's pretty good. And then I'm going to drag the handles until I've got the entire image covered with the canvas. Bring this layer up here. So that's pretty good. And then I'm going to hit enter. So now what I can do, let's go back to the subject. I'm going to choose, just got to be on a selection tool. One of these is fine. This one here, the quick selection tool, is the one I use. And then I have this option up here for select subject. So I'm going to do that. And it's telling me that it can't find the subject. Let me turn this because I had the overlay off. So let me try this again. Select subject. And it does a pretty good job. It doesn't get in here between the fingers here. That's okay. We'll come in here later with the mask and kind of fix this because what we're going to do is create a mask. You can see it's not perfect down here. It does a pretty good job. I can choose select and mask and try to kind of clean up the edges. Sometimes they get a little jagged in spots, so I can smooth them out right here. And then I can add a little contrast. So I'm going to hit OK. And that gives me a pretty good selection there. So I've got that modified. So what I'm going to do now is to come down here and click on the mask tool, and it will go ahead and mask out my subject. So then what I can do, if I click on this, it's just going to overlay it, right? Well, let me take this mask. I'm going to choose Control Alt or Control Option, and then I'm going to click and I'm going to drag the mask up to there, and then I'm going to right click on the mask down here in the base layer and just delete it. So now I'm back to square one, but then when I turn this on, I've got the canvas just on her, right? Well, what do I need to do? I need to hit Control I, which means invert the mask, and that'll put the canvas to the outside of her. Pretty cool. Now it's a little bit, you can see down here, it's not quite right, and in here, but what I can do is I can change my layer type from normal, and I got all these different blend options, and just pick one that you like. That will blend it a little easier. That color dodge looks pretty nice, but I'm going to go down to either overlay. Soft light looks real nice. I like the soft light. And you can't even really see down here where, the mask wasn't quite perfect. You can see it here. And so in that case, you can come in here and choose your paintbrush tool. Make sure that your hardness is set to 0. Flow is, well, let's bring the flow down to like 30 because I'm not sure what this is going to do here. And I can zoom in a little bit, bring the screen up, and I can kind of paint that canvas into that area gradually, right? Just kind of fill in those spots. And I'm not being perfect because I'm trying to go quickly, but you get the idea, right? So that worked pretty well. So you could go up in these spots that are not perfect, like between the fingers. You can zoom in and work those spots a little more and get that perfect. And then if you wanted to bring the opacity down you think maybe it's a little bit too much, you bring it down a little bit, see? And you get a little texture to your background. So I'd probably bring it back up to like about right there, about 84%. That looks pretty good. And if I wanted to kind of play around with the tones, I could do a curves layer, right? And I can bring this mask and copy it up there, the same mask, Control Option or Control Alt, and then drag the mask up, replace that mask with the existing mask, and now everything that I do on the curves is just going to be on the background, right? And I can come in here and kind of, what if I want to make it a little darker, a little moodier? I can kind of play around with my curves and do some things there. So that's just another option. So that's it. Thanks for watching.